Welcome to today's 5-minute Bible study in the Gospel of John. Today we're wrapping up our look at John chapter 10. We're going to start reading at verse 39 and we'll go through the end of the chapter. Now we spent several sessions looking at chapter 10. Jesus had talked to the people about that he was the good shepherd. And then he made it clear to them that as the good shepherd he is the Son of God come to them. He said that he and the Father are one. Of course, there were those who believed Jesus, but there were many who did not and were opposed to him. And at first they wanted to stone him because they said, "You're committing blasphemy, claiming to be one with the Father." But he said, "I am the Son of God." He talked to them about that. And then it says, once again, they tried to take him. And that's where we're going to start reading at verse 39. Again, they tried to seize him, to seize Jesus, but he escaped their grasp. Now, this is not the first time they've tried to take Jesus or do away with him, but each time he slips away from them because the time has not yet come. But they're wanting to do away with him. They tried to seize him. So Jesus went back across the Jordan to the place where John had been baptizing in the early days. Now Jesus at this time has been in Jerusalem, the Judea area for a while, but now he leaves that area. But it does not go back to Galilee. In earlier parts of John, we would see him going back to Galilee, but it does not go back to Galilee. He goes down by the Jordan River into the wilderness area where John the Baptist had done his baptizing. That gets him away from the immediate vicinity of Jerusalem, the immediate area of Judea, a little bit of isolation, but not back to Galilee. There he stayed, and many people came to him. Now the ones coming to him are those who believe. You know, it's the leadership, the Jewish leadership in the Sanhedrin, the Pharisees, who are so opposed to Jesus. But among the people, they're believing. And so when they find out where Jesus is, they come to him. As before they had gone to John the Baptist when he was baptizing. They come to Jesus. And they said, that is the crowds coming, say, though John never performed a sign, there were no miracles associated with John. He just simply proclaimed the coming of the one. Though John never performed a sign, all that John said about this man was true. And in that place, many believed in Jesus. They remember the words of John that pointed them to Jesus. You remember the first part of the Gospel of John, we are told that John pointed to Jesus and said, "Behold, the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world." He had pointed clearly to Jesus as the one who was to come after him, who surpassed him, who was the Lamb of God, who came to take care of our sin problem. They remembered what John testified about Jesus, and many believed. In that place, many believed in Jesus. Now the scene is set. The opposition to Jesus among the leadership has grown fierce. They are desperate to do away with Jesus, but many among the common people believe. Jesus is in the wilderness area because the time has not yet come, but it will arrive soon. Now, with this setting, with this understanding of the leadership being against Jesus, but the common people believing, we're now ready for John chapter 11, the next miracle of Jesus. We've said many times in our study of the Gospel of John that John highlights 7 miracle signs of Jesus. He references many more. He talks about many miracles that Jesus did, but he tells us the story of 7 of them. And the 7th and the greatest that he wants to mention to us is about to occur in John chapter 11. It says, "Now a man whose name was Lazarus was sick." We know Lazarus, good friend of Jesus. We know the sisters of Lazarus, Mary and Martha. And we're simply told here at the beginning of chapter 11 that he is sick. And matter of fact, we're going to see as we start working our way through this chapter that his illness is quite severe, even perhaps to the point of death. And so the sisters, Mary and Martha, are going to send word to Jesus asking him to come and heal Lazarus. But of course, he's going to die. And when Jesus arrives, he's already going to be in the grave, which sets the scene for the raising of Lazarus, the 7th miracle that the Gospel of John wants to highlight, the raising of Lazarus. And that miracle in itself, as great as it is, of course, is a pointer to the greatest of all, which is the coming resurrection of Jesus. But first, we're going to look at the raising of Lazarus. So, we're simply told Lazarus is sick. And that sets the scene for Jesus to return to Judea, to Bethany, where Lazarus lives, and we're going to see this miracle. So for the next several days, we're going to be looking at chapter 11, the raising of Lazarus. So join us next time for our 5-minute Bible study in the Gospel of John.